After spending around 480,384 hours waiting for my Old Republic to download, I finally entered the game, and fortunately, I saw the non-disclosure agreement essentially being deactivated, which allows me to talk about the game in detail. Unfortunately, I didn't get to play the game much since it was the final day, so if you're looking for incredible detail, look at all the players who are already level 50, finished all the content, completed every single dungeon, acquired all the gear, and written 500-page essays on why an obscure corner in the beta is unfinished and rating the game down. It'll happen, inevitably, if it hasn't already. Trust me. So, after all that fast talking and ranting, into the actual game itself. The first thing you see is the iconic long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and then a Star Wars logo pops up, and the scrolling credits appear, and then I accidentally clicked and skipped the cutscene. Damn. So the game begins, credits roll, blah blah blah, you understand, you've played a video game before, presumably. The first actual decision you get to make is between Republic and Sith, and you don't really get to understand the differences since it's just one picture next to the other. Unless you have your mind already set on one or the other, the initial benefits are almost non-existent. You can't see or understand the difference, which is a shame, so I chose the blue one. The Republic. The next choice is your class and race, which are major choices. The races are very detailed for those hardcore lovers of Star Wars who can understand all the origins and backstories. Personally, I chose a race of blind people who use the Force to act as a sonar device and have a completely different form of vision. Wouldn't that be cool if it changed the view during the game? Wait, no, that would be too complicated, wouldn't it? Anyway. The classes vary from the basic mage healer to a tank to a roguish class to a warrior, and all of them play very different roles in the universe. Each class presumably varies in playstyle and even speech patterns, which I'll get to in a minute. Now, I decided to be a Jedi class who could be a peacebringer to the world through slaughtering 500 space boars and bringing their tusks to Mancrick's space wife. No, seriously. The mage class varies in name for each faction, so I'll just call it the Jedi. When I got into the game, we start off with a Mass Effect-style speech minigame where the lower conversations are a lot more jerky and unfortunately feel a lot more realistic and actually represent what I want to say. They say what you want to say rather than what your Jedi should say. Now, the character starts the game with power, with responsibilities, and isn't just some guy who spawned in the Church of Elwyn Forest, but a character with actual backstory in life. You are a Jedi, rather than a trainee of the Force, and you can actually use their abilities that everyone dreams of. So, being called a Padawan does bring back memories of the films, which I haven't seen the entire collection of, just for future reference. The class mission starts with a relatively easy mission and is yet an incredibly boring one. Go to and retrieve 4 different hologram terminals. Yes, I know it's not a completely riveting situation as it's the first mission, but it was going to happen sooner or later. So as I walk off, I see a gelatinous hand beast. Oh, sorry, they were flesh raiders of some descript trying to, I don't know, get their land back? It is their home planet after all, and I think we're invading. I think. To be honest, I'm not really sure what's going on, but I push on and encounter the first beast. I press the 2 key, I channel my force through my mind and into my hands, ripping the ground apart, peeling a rock from the surface, and fling the earth at them, causing an encounter of the explosion kind. This first attack made me feel like a Jedi, and it was absolutely awesome. Then I pulled out my lightsaber and completely dominated the rest of the family and friends of the raider to be a true Jedi? Seriously, one of the first cutscenes is about restoring the peace. This is madness. No, this is not Sparta. Minor inconsistencies aside, I finished the quest, and blah blah blah, got my rewards, and continued onwards. The only reason I would pay for a slightly above average action MMO is if there was something distinguishing keeping me attached. SWTOR does seem to have one thing, and that one thing would make me grind through the... Okay, let me get something straight. I know a lot of you would say if you're in the beta, the combat was fantastic, and it was fluid, and it looked awesome. Now, I can't disagree with that. It did look awesome, but the fact is, it's another hotkey MMO, and that's what's turning me off. If it took the action of DC Universe, which has weapons, and made it actionier, rather than clicky, I would buy this game in an instant. The only thing I wanted to see was space action, EVE Online style, selling spices, flying ships, destroying bandits, and generally being an awesome space travel adventure. And so far, I was disappointed. I did, however, see a few clips of the space missions, and I was absolutely ecstatic. It looked fantastic and exactly what I wanted. I would buy a game of just that! However, it requires a high level, and is less rewarding than grinding, and requires an MMO subscription for you to just play this one minigame. I'm really disappointed, and yes, I know I didn't get to play very much, and it's just a beta, but I don't know, normally the beginning missions of a game are great and the rest is lackluster, but no, SWTOR decided to make it as grindy as possible. I know the main attractions of this game is the lore, the speech choices, and the fact that the game has Star Wars imprinted on the cover and leaking out of every single orifice. BioWare, unless the game is significantly better on launch, I'm really disappointed. Well, aside from the occasional brilliant moment, it's grindtacular, and I'm sick of grind. If I want to grind, I'll play WoW. If I want to play a fun combat MMO, I'll play DC Universe Online. If I want a good game with good combat and a bit of a mixture of both, well, I guess I'll have to wait for Guild Wars 2. Oh, and I forgot. Even if I did want to play this game on launch, I can't because BioWare chooses not to release simultaneously to Australia. Well, thanks a lot, BioWare. Thanks a bunch. Damn it.